We're joined by 2GB host Michael McLaren and founder of Adoni Media, Lisa Goddard. Gang, welcome to the program. Michael, I'll start with you. What did you make of Tony Abbott's speech?
Thanks, Rita. Look, whether anthropogenic global warming's ahistorical, I'll leave for others to debate. But what is certainly, as former Prime Minister Abbott made the allusion to, completely difficult to comprehend, is this idea that we can rapidly increase not just our population, but the globe's population, and at the same time bring down emissions. This is the one unspoken about area in this whole thesis or theory, whatever you want to call it, which almost dare not speak its name. But of course, at the end of the day, if you were going to add a lot of people to the planet, or in Australia's case, you're going to add, 500,000-600,000 people per annum for quite a few years, it seems, at a time to the national population, you're going to have a far greater demand on energy than you had prior to undertaking that experiment. You're going to have to be able to find the juice in the grid for all of these people. I think a lot of the assumptions which are underpinning our quote-unquote transition don't seem to factor in significant population growth. They, to me, don't seem to factor in the need for a greater, more sovereign industrial base in this nation. So I think a contribution like this from Tony Abbott will certainly bring the critics out in big numbers. That doesn't matter. But if it helps people focus, I think, on some of those fundamental factors that are at play but almost dare not speak their name, then that's got to be a good thing. And I heard you speaking to Saul earlier about nuclear power. I mean, we seem to have ideologically driven people saying we've got to get rid of coal and gas eventually, assuming that's possible, but we won't use a proven technology which is being used in a number of nations the world over, and which, of course, we've got an abundance of the core material required under our feet. So, silly.
We've got all the core materials, Michael. We've got all the core materials. We've got hundreds of years of coal, gas, uranium, where we should be paying next to nothing for our energy costs, and we're paying some of the highest prices in the world. Lisa, are we going to see a shift from the coalition? Are they going to drop their net zero position and actually have an argument and a choice for the electorate at the next election?
Look, I know that it's being discussed within members of the party, and I think it rightly should be, because, as you said earlier, look what happened when they came out very hard and gave an alternative to the Voice. So you had Australians then sort of coming on board and saying no to the Voice, and it very much differentiated the Liberal Party from the Labor Party. So I think they do seriously need to look at this. And what's important, I think, out of what Tony Abbott said, is that he wants to prioritise, or thinks we should be prioritising, not reducing our carbon emissions over cost of living. Because if you ask the average person on the street what they're concerned about, and it's been proven in poll after poll, is that they don't want to end up paying more. And at the moment, that's exactly what is happening. So yes, it's a cost of living question. It's also a question about our energy security, because if you think about what they're doing at a regulatory level now, you've got projects, and I did some reading this afternoon. There are major gas projects off the WA coast which have been delayed. There are average delays of 562 days just to get a project up. So what that will result in is, if you don't get those projects over the line quickly, you won't meet the short supply that we're facing when it comes to gas. You'll have jobs that won't eventuate, and you'll have taxes that we'll miss out on. So I think Abbott certainly put this back front and centre where it needs to be, and I do think the Liberal Party need to look at this hard and long.